Well, we got yet again another update in relation to what is happening with this Transformers Micro Machine product. It seems that even though it showed up in the wild in some regions in the western United States, specifically targets in California, no Transformer fans have picked this up and opened it up and gave us the true skinny of what's going on. We have the codes for the product, which I'll post in the description below if you want stuff ID'd and you want to pick it up. We have more or less a loose list of what is available at some point, at somewhere, that we will be getting all of this. But we don't really know the decos. We don't really know what's inside. We assume what we thought we know. And even our assumptions were incorrect because we got a little bit more info today. And yet again, there's a lot more than we thought there was going to be. Pleasantly so, at least for some people who wanted something that was a little more Generation 1 flavored, and I'll put it at that. So we talked about these mystery pack blind boxes that the Micro Machines line has. Again, if you want the codes to be able to identify the blind boxes so you don't have to buy stuff blindly and end up with non-Transformer product, because about 50% of the blind box stuff is non-Transformer related. Again, in the description below, you can get all those codes and help yourself out there. But an individual on one of the Micro Machine message boards opened up two of these by the name of TARDIS96D. So thank you, TARDIS, for falling on the sword and picking these up. And he opened two of them up and ended up with some Transformers. And we have a better idea now of how they look and everything. And they're a lot different than any of the images that we've seen up to this point. When we saw that there was going to be an Optimus Prime, we assumed it was one of the two Optimus Prime Micro Machines that we saw already leaked out from the factories in Vietnam. That was not the case. This is a new kind of deco and molding. Same thing with the Megatron. It said it was a Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, and we saw a Revenge of the Fallen Megatron in the Chinese or Vietnamese factory leaked photos, but that was not the case. This is a different color scheme. And same thing, there is a Starscream, and we assumed, well, we saw one Starscream, and then we saw Revenge of the Fallen Starscream, so either it's going to be one or the other, but apparently there's a third one. And what this tells me more than anything, before I get into this deeper, it means that they're going to take these molds, and they are going to repaint the hell out of them. We're going to see tons of decos and redecos of tons of stuff here. And considering that they already have a whole bunch of designs that are very Transformer flavored already within the Micro Machines line, long before they got the Transformer license, because they have all those construction vehicles and all those other European vehicles and stuff, we're probably going to see a lot more Transformer stuff in the future. A lot of stuff with Autobot and Decepticon logos slapped on with a classic color scheme. So let's get into these. So they opened up three of them. And of the three, we got to see three different kinds of color schemes. So they opened up the 1B-01 and 1B-02, which both share the same playset but have very different kinds of included vehicles. And one is the Optimus Prime and one is the Megatron. And they opened up a 3A-02, which comes with the Starscream. And the alternate vehicle that you could get from that same playset is non-Transformer related. It's a private jet. So what's cool about this is all of these vehicles, the paint schemes are stuff we haven't seen yet, so we'll get into that. So the Optimus and the Megatron, we have an Optimus that uses the truck mold, but this time around uses a translucent kind of color scheme that if you run light piping through it and stuff, it kind of glows. It looks kind of nice, actually. The Megatron uses the tank from Revenge of the Fallen, but this time around has like dust and dirt on it and everything. And again, different than what we've seen previously from the factory leaks online. But the most interesting of the bunch is the Starscream. And it's primarily because the biggest, I don't want to say criticism, but what people really want from this line is people want Generation 1. There is a huge contingency of people that love movie stuff, but they want Generation 1 Micro Machines more than anything else. And this kind of gives them that in a small sense, where we thought we were going to just be getting a variant of Starscream, whether it be the actual basic colors of the 2007 design, the Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor fighter jet, or that same model with the Cybertronian tribal tattoo colors on it that was found in Revenge of the Fallen. We thought it was going to be one or the other. But we got a third color scheme, and it is that of a Generation 1 flavored kind of homage. If anything, if you want to really break it down, I mean, possibly an homage to the Target exclusive movie Starscream Generation 1 homaging color scheme from 2007. Maybe. Could be. There is similarities there, but again, at the same time, it also is similar to G1 Starscream's color schemes, or Energon Superlink, second version, Energon Starscream's color schemes. So, there's a lot that it could be pulling from. I think it's going for a Generation 1 flavor, and anything else that was homaging Starscream otherwise in other molds, including the Lockheed, is purely coincidence. Now, of course, the original Generation 1 Starscream was an F-15 Eagle fighter jet, and this mold is using the Starscream movie mold, so it's the Lockheed Martin F-22, the Raptor. But hey, if you're someone who is not in the know of fighter jets or anything like that, an aviation expert, and you squint a little bit, it's a G1 Starscream to you. So at least there's some kind of flavor there of Generation 1 within these blind boxes. And now it raises the question, because we've seen at least what the Cliffjumper looks like. That's also available here, 1A-02. But we don't know the others. There is another set that they're shared in the same playset, but you get one of two different vehicles, the 2B-01 or 2B-02, which is Nemesis Prime and Sideswipe. Now, Nemesis Prime is pretty much a given what it's going to be. They're going to take that Optimus mold again, and they're going to probably repaint it in black with some teal. That's what I'm going to assume. But now we have the Sideswipe, and I was going to assume that it was going to just be the, Revenge of the Fallen mold that we already seen leaked from the factory. But maybe, just maybe, this might be a completely different deco using that mold, the Corvette. Maybe it's going to be a red color scheme, which isn't completely Generation 1 flavored. I mean, the red is not going to make it look exactly like the old Countach LP500 from the 80s. But, I mean, it still is something that's different. So we'll see what happens. It is very interesting that they're really going with a lot of different decos here. And again, supposedly it's out there. If you go to your Targets, maybe this stuff is out there right now, and if you want to pick it up, again, check the description below. You could get your codes and figure out what it is. The codes, again, if you look on the bottom of the packaging, where it has the UPC code and all the trademarks and licensing and everything, on the bottom left is where the code is. I'll put it in the thumbnail below so you guys could see. And you just got to look for the number at the beginning, the 1A-01 or whatever, and you'll get your corresponding play set. Still a lot of stuff still not accounted for. I mean, there's so many characters that we saw through the factory leak that still we don't know how they're going to be released or how they will be distributed. I mean, we got that big Bumblebee playset that we also don't have much info on that comes with the Barricade. A lot of weird stuff going on. But so these blind packs, their MSRP is $8.99, so about $9. Again, check it out. It's out there. Very interesting stuff. Otherwise, I hope we get more information in the future. Some solid information, some packaging, some real good stuff, because I'm excited about it. I know not a lot of people are crazy about it, but I am, and I hope that they kind of bridge the gap and do a lot more with these. And maybe that G1 flavored Starscream might be a sign of things to come.